news revealed today from WWE regarding the Women's Royal Rumble matchup. More details on what led to Enzo Amore's firing from WWE, and also a preview of this Saturday's NXT TakeOver from Philadelphia, along with a look back at SmackDown from last night. This is PWR Tonight for Wednesday, January 24, 2018. Hello wrestling fans, and welcome to tonight's edition of PWR Tonight. I'm Damian Nelson, coming to you from the Pro Wrestling Report studios. Thank you for joining us wherever it is you may be. In tonight's hot news, Stephanie McMahon has been revealed as a member of the broadcast team during Sunday's Royal Rumble, specifically the Women's Royal Rumble matchup. Stephanie McMahon, as part of the Women's Revolution and the sculptor of that revolution, revealed today that she will be part of the broadcast team. Now, this led to speculation as to whether or not Stephanie may actually participate in the matchup, which is not something I thought of or even considered. But I think this makes it less likely that she will be participating in the actual match. However, doesn't mean she won't necessarily get involved. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, it was announced earlier today by WWE as well that Phoenix, Arizona will host the 2019 installment of the Royal Rumble event, coming to you from Chase Field. It's their baseball stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. So looking at another large-scale show for the Royal Rumble. WWE citing numbers as high as 40,000 people to be in attendance for that event in Phoenix. And we do know last time they did a major show, major venue rather, for the Royal Rumble was the Alamo Dome just last year, where they saw some 50,000 fans in attendance. Looks like Royal Rumble on its way to being the signature second large attendance event on an annual basis from WWE. In addition to the Royal Rumble, the NXT and Raw and SmackDown events over the weekend in 2019 will also be occurring in Phoenix, Arizona. We expect very soon there to be a WrestleMania announcement for 2019 as well. And if the reports are true, it's going to be another quickly repeated venue for the company for WrestleMania next year. More on the firing of Enzo Amore from WWE, which we told you about yesterday here on PWR Tonight. The folks over at WrestlingInc.com, our good friends, are reporting that the main situation that led to Enzo's firing was not necessarily the allegation, but the fact that he never mentioned it to the company. The company caught off guard when they received media inquiries on Monday regarding the situation, which then led Enzo to admit that yes, he did know about it, obviously, but he had not shared that information with the company in a proactive nature. This led to him actually being sent home directly from Raw this past Monday night. More on this developing story involving Enzo Amore and the sexual assault allegations from Phoenix, Arizona last October. Speaking of Enzo and the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, as you know, Enzo was the Cruiserweight Champion prior to his release by WWE, and he is obviously no longer the title holder. We did find out from Daniel Bryan this past last night on 205 Live, that we will be finding out their intentions on crowning a new Cruiserweight Champion next week on 205 Live. Additionally, 205 Live will be getting its own general manager, because we don't have enough of those. And that will be announced. That person will be announced on next week's episode. Maybe Goldust, since he's been sort of flirting around with the idea of 205 Live as of late, could be a great and very entertaining general manager for that product. In a media call today, Triple H, while talking about NXT, revealed that NXT will indeed be the starting point for any inbound WWE stars, citing they need to learn how to do TV, their TV, in an effort to be best presented on the main rosters. And this is probably a valid point, but Triple H also saying that it's not fair to them, rather, to come into the company and be thrust onto the TV product without ample training and practice in NXT. I want to remind all of you that we have a huge party coming to New Orleans as part of WrestleMania weekend. It's the Shenanigans Party on Bourbon Street. It's the only wrestling event happening on Bourbon Street during WrestleMania weekend. As you know, it's hosted by Kevin Nash and will be attended by dozens of other wrestling stars. There is no other event like it as part of WrestleMania weekend, and it is coming to Bourbon Street this year at the Bourbon Cowboy Friday night, April 6th, after the WWE Hall of Fame, and through this weekend. You can get 10% off tickets by simply going to pwrshow.com and ordering your tickets and using the promo code RUMBLE, that's all caps, RUMBLE, to get 10% off your VIP or general admission tickets for Shenanigans on Bourbon Street.
WrestleMania weekend's biggest party is coming to Bourbon Street. Don't miss an all-inclusive, all-night party Friday, April 6th. Hosted by Kevin Nash and over 20 other wrestling stars. Enjoy unlimited drinks all night long at the Bourbon Cowboy on Bourbon Street. Throw beads from the balcony. Drink and party with your favorite wrestling stars. Hurry, limited quantities available. Purchase tickets now at PWRshow.com. That's PWRshow.com.
SmackDown was last night on the USA Network, and two big matches made at the beginning of the show where I thought Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens did tremendous again, by the way, in that opening segment with AJ Styles and eventually Daniel Bryan. But it would be AJ Styles taking on each of the two men he will face on Sunday at the Royal Rumble collectively, individually. First, he had a matchup with Kevin Owens where Kevin Owens actually would tap out in that matchup to AJ Styles. Then from there, it was AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn, and of course shenanigans would ensue that would actually result in Sami Zayn getting a pinfall victory over the champion AJ Styles just a few days prior to the Royal Rumble. NXT is tonight on the WWE Network, and mostly they're going to be going through the motions leading into this Saturday's NXT TakeOver event. So let's preview that event coming to you on the WWE Network from Philadelphia. There'll be several championship matches, but before we get to those, there will be an Extreme Rules match. Adam Cole taking on Aleister Black. The Tag Team Championships will be on the line as the Authors of Pain, as a result of their win last week, will take on Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. And the Women's Championship will be on the line as Shayna Baszler takes on Ember Moon. Ember Moon, who this guy is a fan of. And in the championship matchup, it will be Johnny Gargano taking on Andrade Almas in the main event for NXT TakeOver this upcoming Saturday. And announced today earlier as well on that NXT conference call by Triple H, another matchup, it will be Cassius Ohno taking on the Velveteen Dream. Of course, NXT coming to you on the WWE Network. And we also found out in that conference call today, pretty revealing call, that they're going to be taping an edition of their NXT television program prior to the pay-per-view on Saturday in Philadelphia. I want to remind you to subscribe to us on YouTube. Just simply click on the PWR icon in the lower corner of your screen there, and you'll be automatically subscribed to the broadcast so that you will never miss an episode of PWR Tonight. We are with you each and every night, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. Tomorrow night, a brand new edition where we'll bring you all the hot news of the day and my perspective piece. And this week, I'll be talking to you more about the men's Royal Rumble match. As you know, last week we talked about the women's Royal Rumble match. Well, there's also about 12 names not yet announced for the men's Rumble matchup. So let's speculate a little bit as to what we're going to see in that big matchup this Sunday on the WWE Network. Thank you very much for joining us here for tonight's edition of PWR Tonight. I'm Damian Nelson, thanking you for subscribing and thanking you for joining us here for all the programs of the Pro Wrestling Report, including a brand new edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time, where we have Be the Booker for the Royal Rumble. That's coming to you on a special night, Friday this week, on the channels of the Pro Wrestling Report.